Okay, you guys, welcome back to the EXP Family Tree Tuesday Mastermind. Today we have Shannon Pyatt here, and he is a kvCORE coach. He is a kvCORE expert, and he is going to be helping us learn the best practices of kvCORE. Some of you are new to EXP Realty or aren't even with EXP Realty, might be using kvCORE with your own brokerage. Some of you have been here for a while. It doesn't matter where you're from, what you're coming for, but if you want to learn about kvCORE, this is the place to do it. We are live streaming EXP Family Tree. So how do you guys who are watching from there? We will have this recorded. If you need to watch it a second time, be sure to go check it out on my YouTube channel. Just search my name and you'll be able to find it there. But without further ado, we want to jump right into this. We've got about 45, 50 minutes, Shannon. And first and foremost, give us a quick little introduction of yourself, how you came about being a kvCORE expert and coach. And then we'll jump right into it. You guys chat questions along the way. We'll monitor those, make sure we can answer them as well. And I know Shannon's going to, just kind of do a good kind of overview of all the things that you need to know about kvCORE to start using it and being successful. So Shannon, without further ado, please make an intro.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me, Cari. I really do. And welcome everybody, no matter where you're from or, it doesn't matter your company or anything like that. Of course, I'm branded up, but don't pay any attention to me. I do this every day. This is my work attire, right? But no, to tell you a little bit about kvCORE, I was actually trained originally by the original developers of the system called Conversion. It was Conversion before it became kvCORE. Okay. And so the developers, there was a couple of guys. I believe Brian was one of them. I didn't know him that well, but the other one I knew was Ryan. And Ryan it was a good friend of mine. He, taught me pretty much everything there was to know about Conversion. And then it kind of migrated into kvCORE. Now, you may not even know this, Cari. This is something that just came about recently. kvCORE Inside Real Estate, who owns kvCORE, and by the way, they own kvCORE and Boomtown now, both. Okay. So Inside Real Estate has named me as a certified official kvCORE ambassador.
Wow.
I am one of 3 in the entire nation.
Very cool.
So I thought that was really, really cool. As a matter of fact, kvCORE sponsored our regional events for us. And I got a message from the vice president, because I talk to the vice president of kvCORE quite often now. He messaged me and he said, I just wanted to let you know that we put a special thing in there for your kvCORE boot camp. So I thought that was really, really cool that the developers, the people that own kvCORE are that much behind me, right? So when I'm training you guys, please understand, I have a direct open line with the senior officials inside Real Estate kvCORE. So if there's questions that you ask that I don't know the answers to, I literally can text the vice president or the president of the company and get the answers like that pretty much. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys.
That is exciting.
So yeah, it was. I mean, I was like, man, to be to be certified through those guys. I mean, they put you through some pretty rigorous stuff. You have to really know your stuff for them to certify you. So anyway,
well, we are very lucky to have you here today. I didn't know this when I asked you to come, although I knew you were very much skilled in kvCORE, and this is even a bigger treat for all of us that are here. And people keep joining; the group keeps getting bigger, so that's awesome.
It was crazy.
You should have controls to share your screen if you want to, whatever you need.
Sure.
Awesome.
Okay, let me close some of this stuff out here. Give me just a second, okay? All right, and we're going to go over here to kvCORE. So I'm going to start with a couple of things here, guys. Number one is who here, I need to know a few things before we get started. Who here is using kvCORE on an everyday basis, meaning you're logging in at least once a day, if not twice or more a day, every day to kvCORE, Monday through Friday, or through Monday through Saturday, whatever you work. Can you monitor that for me? Because I can't see the chat. I'm sorry.
It looks like, yeah, you guys can raise your hand. You can chat in the chat box. Candy says 4 to 5 days. Brandon says, I mean to, but it doesn't happen. That's probably a lot of us. I know there's a few people on the call here that I know that are just literally considering EXP and are curious about kvCORE
Cool.
or just
Okay.
starting.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So first of all, what you guys need to understand is this: kvCORE is literally an all-in-one system. Okay. For years, we've had to have our own website. We've had to have our own CRM. We've had to have all these different things, and they were all separate. And the problem was when leads would come in from a website, they would, you'd have to take them over into, it's asking me to admit someone. Cari, have you got that? Hopefully, maybe not. I guess I can. But basically, we've had to take the leads from our website and then take the email and copy it and put all that stuff in and then put it over into our CRM and then hope we had the right message going out and all this different stuff. So what you got to understand about kvCORE is kvCORE does everything for you with the exception of two things. It will not have the conversation with the client, number one. Okay. And it will not go on the appointment, number two. Other than that, it is literally doing everything for you behind the scenes. Okay. So what you got to understand is kvCORE, it will automatically email people. It will automatically text message people. It will automatically send them videos. If you have the video service, it'll automatically send them voicemails. If you have the voicemail service, all these different things that it will do. I got to let some people in here. Hold on just a second. Okay. But all these different things that it will do, right? So, you got to keep that in mind whenever a lead comes in. Now the lead comes from your website. They sign up on your website. They go right into your kvCORE system. And if you've got the right messaging going out, and that's important, the right messaging going out, then it will cultivate that lead for you and they'll raise their hand. And when they raise their hand, you can start working with them, right? So if you have it set up correctly, which is one of the things we do with our kvCORE bootcamp.
Mark will do for school.
I'm sorry. What was the
Mark
question?
will go to school.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry. What's the question? Okay. Sorry, I was hearing a question, I thought. But anyway, having said that, the system is going to, literally take care of everything, behind the scenes for you, but you've got to have the right messaging going out. You've got to, when you get kvCORE, it doesn't always come directly with everything set up with the messaging that you might want, right? So that's why we created some of the semi-custom campaigns and we created a lot of different stuff. You guys can go to kvcorebootcamp.com and check that out if you want to. Feel free to do that. But anyway, needless to say, let's talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing with kvCORE on a daily basis. Today is going to be, we don't have time to do what I call a kvCORE bootcamp live, right? That's an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours worth of material. What we're going to do today, since we've only got about 45 minutes or so, we're going to hit the things that you should be doing to A, make your phone ring, and B, make sure that you know how to follow up once the phone does ring. So a few things that I want you to understand right off the bat. Number one is when you sign up for kvCORE, you're going to be assigned a smart number. Okay. So this smart number may be, this is my own personal smart number. Let's use 828-555-1212, for example. Okay. Let's say that's the number that EXP and kvCORE have assigned to you. Okay. Now, here's the problem with that number. It's a great number. It's going to work fine for you. You're not going to have any issues with that. But the challenge is going to be that this is a round robin number. Okay. Because that's the agreement that EXP and kvCORE have worked out. They offer so many numbers, those numbers round robin. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. So for example, John Hyman is a lead in my system. Okay. So if I were to text John right now, if I respond back to his text right now, okay, it's going to automatically send that text message to John. If John responds to me, it's going to send it to me, right? We know that. It connects the two of us because he's already an active lead in my system. or a lead in my system, period. Okay. Now, if John had a friend named Sam who was selling his house, and he told Sam, hey, you know what? Shannon's a great realtor. You're going to love him. He's going to do a great job for you. His number is 828-555-1212. Now, people say all the time, well, but I want him to have my cell number. Okay, here's the problem. This number, because kvCORE does everything for you, is automatically messaging John on your behalf. Whether you want it to or not, it's doing it. Okay, so if John saves this number as your number and he gives it to Sam, and Sam calls this number, or Sam text messages this number, listen to me carefully here, it will not go to you. Okay, listen to me carefully. That lead will not go to you. The only way to fix that is go over here to Shop Marketplace. Okay. Now, you don't have to do this. You absolutely don't have to do this. It's not required. It is the smart thing to do. Hence the name Smart Number. Okay. Hit Learn More. Okay. And then you will sign up. It is $27 per month. Okay. But it does a lot of different things. You get to choose your area code. You get to enhance, enhance your curbside marketing. So you can use, just this smart number. That's what I did. I took all my cell number off of everything and I used just my smart number for leads. I save it as kvCORE. That way, when they call me, I know it's a lead coming in. I know to pick up I see kvCORE coming. I know it's a lead. I know how to answer that call, right? You can, like it says, you can use it in your marketing. You can reuse it in campaigns. There's a lot of different things that you can do with your own smart number that will really help you generate more leads and convert more leads. Now, you don't have to do it. Again, it is not a mandatory thing, but it is highly, highly recommended because I don't know about you guys, I don't like giving leads away. Okay. So that's just my personal opinion of it. I don't like giving leads away, so I have my own smart number. I tell everybody the leads, this is my office number. Yes, you can text me on my office number. This is my office number. Then when they sign a contract with me, whether that's a buyer representation agreement or a listing agreement, either one, then I give them my cell number and I say, oh, by the way, this is my personal number now. So you can reach me on it. Right. So I know the leads only have the smart number or the office number, whatever you want to call it. And the actual clients have my cell number. I can also set it up to record calls. Now, depending upon your state, North Carolina, where I'm at, is a one-party state. What that means is this: as long as I know the call's being recorded, you and I can be on a call and I can record the call and I never have to say a word to you. Okay. Because in North Carolina, only one party has to know if a call is being recorded. Check your state guidelines on that. You can get in big trouble in certain states, I've been told, especially West Coast, Northeast. Those areas are very strict against recording a call that the person does not know the call is being recorded. Okay, so that is another thing that you can do. The other thing I like about it too is this. Let's say I'm on my way to a listing appointment and someone calls me, and they're rattling off, hey, I need 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, Asheville, North Carolina, et cetera, blah, 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 blah. I don't have to ask them, hey, let me call you back when I get back to my office. I can literally say, you know what? Okay, I got all this information down now. We're good to go. I'll just go ahead and get this set up for you and send it over to you when I get to the office, because it's recording my call and I can go back and re-listen to that call. Okay. Another thing is if let's say you miss 15 phone calls in a day, right? While you're at a listing appointment, right? And 12 of those are spam, Zillow trying to sell you whatever, right? Or somebody trying to sell you healthcare insurance or whatever it may be, right? And then the 3 are actually leads, but most people don't leave messages now. So you would have to go back through and call every number that you missed, okay, to get to those 3 leads. In this scenario, you don't. So if they have my smart number and they call, it's automatically just going to put their number here instead of a name. and it's going to start a text messaging conversation with them right off the bat, right? So now I can be in conversation with these people very, very easily, and never miss a lead. Okay. So the one thing I can tell you about the smart number is this: it's all about never missing a lead. Okay. And that's why I think you should have your own smart number. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? Can you have more than one smart number if working in 2 states? Yes. Yeah. Yes. You actually have to have a plug-in. There's like a plug-in that you get to where you have 2 separate kvCORE sort of things, and they kind of all branch into one. I would reach out down here to the support down here and ask them about that. They can guide you exactly on how you need to go about that. Okay. All right. So that's the smart number. Any questions on the smart number before we move on? We've got limited time here, so I don't have time to take a bunch of questions, but any questions on the smart number? Are we good? Okay, I will assume we're good and move on. Okay, so when you're on your dashboard, you're going to see all this stuff, right? You can see what people are looking at, what their price ranges are, whether they favorited homes, you know, are there new leads, have they viewed reports, market reports, all kinds of different stuff here, right? So you can kind of go through and just glance and see who needs attention. You can also click on hot leads here, and this will tell you who's most important right now. Who really matters in my database, right? Who do I need to have a phone call with? I need to call McKay. I know McKay is looking to purchase a investment property and he's got $600,000 in cash. I know for a fact to buy that. So I'm going to call him today because you know what? He's looking and he's saving properties, right? So I'm going to reach out to him today. So those are the kind of things that you want to do. You can also click on new leads, new texts, new emails to see what's going on, right? Kind of follow up with that. You can always do your calls and your tasks. Always knock those out first, right? Just do your calls for the day, do your tasks for the day. Another thing you can do as well is if you want to spend money, all this right here costs you money. This today's objectives. You're welcome to do that, but that does cost you money. Okay. But you can do promote a new listing. Okay. And all you got to do to promote a new listing is, let's say you've got a listing here, right? I can use my listing or company listings. If you're with EXP, I know there's a few people that are not with EXP on here, but if you're with EXP shares all listings because we're one brokerage and the listing belongs to the brokerage. So I can go in here and say company listings, right? And now it's going to pull up anybody in my company that's within my MLS, and it's going to pull up all their listings. I can say just North Carolina, right? And then it's going to bring up these. And so all I have to do is simply just click start promoting, right? So let's say I want to promote this one, right? I just click start promoting. Okay. Now you might want to send a text message to the listing agent and say, hey, I'm with EXP2. You got a great looking property on Platten Avenue. Just wanted to let you know I was going to be marketing the home. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, you got to keep in mind, we're not individual franchises. We're one big brokerage. So we all share those listings. Okay. So if you don't have listings, don't worry about it. You can still market. You can still generate leads. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Okay. Now, what it does is automatically, as soon as I click that, it's going to build this, what they call a smart list. See right here? These are the people that most likely this home would work for. It's already gone through my system, found those people, and it's ready to go. It's got a text message ready for me, and it's got an email ready to go, right? Well, the email's not populated yet, but it's got everything ready to go. All I have to do is hit send schedule. Boom. It's going to automatically send those out to all of those people in a text form and an email form, right? So I've got something right on the, you know, right there taking care of everything for me. Okay. And so now the next thing I can do, if I have my own smart number, then I can, you know, print flyers, postcards, sign writers, digital ads, everything with the text code. If this were my listing, excuse me. If it's not my listing, obviously I'm not going to do all that, right? Property Boost is paying kvCORE to advertise on social media for you. These are very effective. It's going to cost you $60 a week, $60 a week. They're going to run ads. They're going to generate those leads for you. And those leads are going to automatically go right into your kvCORE. They're going to start getting followed up with, you know, appropriately. Okay. Digital promotion, everything's done for you as far as the squeeze pages, the landing pages, Craigslist, virtual tours, all that stuff already done for you. So you don't have to worry about any of that, right? Initiate seller report. So if you have a seller, if this is your listing, you'd type in your seller's name here, and then it would send them a report. I think it does it bi-weekly, if I'm not mistaken, on, how many people have looked at their property, what, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty neat as well. And then of course you can activate a smart campaign through there as well. Those are promoting a new listing. That's one of the ways to do it. That's a playbook. Okay. The other thing that you can do as well, if you want to promote listings, is go to listings, and you can go to my listings, company listings again, or manual listings. Let me let this person in. Okay. So you can go to my listings, company listings, or manual listings, totally up to you. Again, if I wanted to go with my listings, for example, right, I've only got one active right now, or two active right now, I'm sorry. And so out of these, I would go in here and click on, let's say this particular property, for example, right? Now it's under contract, so I can't really do anything with it. I mean, I could market it that way if I wanted to. I could certainly market it as under contract, right? I can do that by clicking the boost property, or you can click the more actions here. Now I can send it as a text. I can send it as an email. I can text the hashtag, create a QR code. There's a lot of things I can do. One of the best things you can do is post to Facebook, right? Simply just click post to Facebook. It's going to pull up the ad for you, right? It's already made out with the photo and all that stuff. Now you can share it on your news feed or your story. You can share it on friends' timelines. You can share it into groups. I highly recommend that you belong to as many yard sale groups, trade sale groups, swap and shop groups. If you're a exotic car guy, right, join exotic cars. If you're a lady who collects Coach purses, join that, right? Those kind of things, for example. And then you can sporadically, advertise in those groups. Now you don't want to overdo it, okay? But you can advertise in there. It's a great way to get some free advertising without having to pay anything and get your listings out, okay? You can share on pages that you manage. Those are business pages, things of that nature, right? So you want to make sure you've got a business page. And one of our features that we offer in our kvCORE Bootcamp is, of course, all this stuff is broken down, and there's about 500 videos. I've broken them down into 9 bite-sized modules. They're literally 10 minutes a piece. Anybody can figure it out. It's kind of kvCORE for dummies, if you will. Okay. And then, there's other packages there where you can have one-on-one coaching with me. You can get my listing presentation, which was #1 in EXP, and all this different stuff. Just go to kvcorebootcamp.com if you guys are interested in any of that stuff. Okay. But right here, for example, you want to keep this very, very simple, right? You don't want a lot of information here. So I might just say, cute, single story, single family home in Candler, great mountain view, something like that, and keep it simple, right? The more information you give in an ad, just so you know, and this is for any ad, okay? Any ad that you do, the more information you give online, the less likely they are to click the button, which clicking the button is what's going to get you the lead, okay? So you can do that with Facebook, you can do it with Twitter, Pinterest, right? Craigslist is just an extension, a Chrome extension, but you simply click post to Craigslist, take your hands completely off of the computer. It does everything for you, puts the photos in, builds the whole thing. It also gives it this text code down here, right? Because links are not allowed in Craigslist, okay? And so it's got the telephone number here. That's another reason you might want to have your own phone number, because you again could be taking a chance on losing a lead, okay? So there's a lot of different things that you can do. You can click on matching buyers. You can find similar listings or nearby listings, but that's how you promote listings inside of kvCORE. Okay. Another way that you can generate leads is through the lead engine tool. And we've got a question here. Let me see what that says. Oh, kvCORE Bootcamp. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Cari. Appreciate that. And then, so in this lead engine, now, this is where you can bulk import your leads from other CRMs or whatever, right? If you're running realtor.com ads or Zillow.com ads, right? Lead Dropbox would actually put those people right into your kvCORE and have them following up. Again, the campaigns that come with kvCORE are very lackluster. Nothing I haven't told the vice president, the president of the company. They're not real good, right? But they work, but they're not great. The ones that I have been tried and tested and true over the years. They really get results. So that's part of the kvCORE bootcamp as well. Okay. The bunch of different things in here that you can do. You guys can go in here and play around. A core listing machine is coming. It is not here yet. I'm one of the beta testers for it. So I have this. No one else has this. I'm one of, I think, 8 people in the whole country that has this. But what it is it's a marketing tool. It's going to be great for your listings. I cannot go into detail much about it because I'm under an NDA. Okay. So, but it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. So just wait. The best is yet to come. Okay. Pitch sheet, right? This would be like for sale by owners, expireds. You can give them a sheet that tells them, okay, we have X amount of people in our database. We have X amount of people looking for homes like yours, X amount of people looking in your neighborhood, looking in your price range, so on and so forth. And all it does is basically just, give them a breakdown of things. And so, like, for instance, I built my business on for sale by owners, right? My very first listing ever was a for sale by owner. Dumb move. I know everybody's like, man, you went after for sale by owners the first time. I hired a coach. I was terrified of listings, absolutely terrified of listings. Now, Cari, that's funny because I have the #1 listing presentation for the whole company, right?
I know, that's hilarious. I did not know that about you.
Yeah, it's so funny. So, but what's funny is I literally was terrified of listings. All I wanted to do was work buyers. I didn't want anything to do with listings. And I hired a coach. This was back in the Craig Proctor days. Okay, if that tells you anything, dating myself a little bit here. But Craig Proctor's company had a coaching company, and I hired a coach. And my coach told me, he said, he was from Canada, so he said, "It's about time." He cracked me up. Right? It's about time for you to get listings. And so anyway, he had me go after for sale by owners. And one of the things that I noticed with for sale by owners is they want to hear you've got a buyer, right? That was one of the big things. They wanted to know, how many buyers do you have that would be interested in my property? Well, if you can give them a sheet that looks like this right here, right? We have 44,000 active buyers in our office, 14,000 in your price range, 378 in your neighborhood. So, Mr. Seller, based upon your price range in your neighborhood, I got 190 possible people that would like to buy your house right now, right? That's huge for a for sale by owner. Okay. So you guys got to realize a lot of these tools that are given to us inside of kvCORE for free, by the way. Well, I say free. We pay $85 a month, obviously, for everything. But this system is $600 a month for agents that are outside of EXP. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. You're going to get that pitch sheet, right? As a tool. You're also going to get call text capture. When I was with Craig Proctor's system, just so you know, I had something called, oh my gosh, what did I forget what they called that thing now. It was a phone line basically, and people could call it. There was no texting back then, but people could call it. God, did I seriously just say that? Yeah, I did. Cari, I'm getting old.
Yeah, I remember all these things, Shannon. So you're dating yourself and me at the same time.
Yeah, I know, right? Because it's like there was no text messaging then, right? There was no thing. I mean,
no Facebook.
I remember freaking out when the Crackberry came out. I was like, what's up, right? Remember that?
I had one.
Yeah, I know, I did too. And so anyway, but you would call this number. And it was an info line, right?
Yeah.
And it was information of about the property. And it was funny because if you listen to it, it would say, this 3-bedroom 2-bath home. I mean, literally, it was like the most robotic, weird thing you could possibly ever think of, right? And so anyway, this system was like $150 a month back then.
Yeah.
This was in the 90s. like late 90s, early 2000s, I mean, crazy. Like, no, actually it was early 2000s. I didn't start till 2002. So it was early 2000s, right? But anyway, I mean, it was crazy, right? And so you had to pay $150 just for that then. Well, guys, you get this for free inside of your kvCORE.
So I didn't know you could have a custom text name.
Yes.
That's pretty cool, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, like right here, I've got one made for home value, right? So what I did with this, okay, I'm gonna give you guys a freebie here, okay? What I did with this is I went to Vistaprint, okay? And I did this back in the foreclosure days and it worked. So then I did it for the home value and it's working, okay? So back in the foreclosure days and the short sale days, which some of you may not have been here for that, but what I would do is I would put the word foreclosure, okay, and then I would give it a number. And so what I do is I go to Vistaprint, okay, and I would, or wherever you get cards printed, right, and I would have on there free list of bank foreclosures, text foreclosure to, and back then it was that number with Craig Proctor, but now it would be this number, right? And so now it would be foreclosure to 828-398-0145. When they do that, it's going to automatically reply back to them with a link that's going to take them right to your website, directly to the foreclosure page, and then they're going to register, and now you've got a full-blown lead. Okay? So you can do that with home value. You can do it with properties, right? So you take your listings and you give them, you put a text writer on there, home 101, home 102, home 103, home 104, whatever it may be. Okay, let's see. We got a gentleman on here. Okay, I think it's one of my guys, if I'm not mistaken. That's somebody from my group. But you've got home 101, home 102, home 103, all that different stuff, right? And so now I can put those text writers on those particular properties, right? And so someone's there, they text the information, boom, it's going to automatically give them the link to the property, the single property website, all that different stuff. So yes, we have a text feature. They don't talk a lot about this. It's not something that's really pushed, but it's an excellent feature that guys literally, 20 years ago cost you $150 a month just for it alone. Okay. So utilize that, but you've got to have your own smart number. You got to have your own smart number to do that. I would not do it because here's the thing, Cari, you and I are not in the same location, but let's assume that you were in the Charlotte regional location, right? And in the same MLS as me. If we both had 828-555-1212 as the number, and we both put home value on our card with the same number, do you see how that would round robin back and forth between you and I?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So you don't want that to happen.
Right.
Okay. So that's the reason you want to have your own smart number. Now, there's two different ways otherwise to generate leads in kvCORE. Obviously I showed you the one about, about the listings, and there's another one where you can go in and you can build out, listings inside of Marketplace, right? That's a great way to do it. That's in depth in our kvCORE bootcamp. So if you guys go to kvcorebootcamp.com and sign up, that's in depth. We don't have time to go into that today. There's a lot to that, but it's a very effective way of doing it. Because you can advertise it on Marketplace and up to 20 groups at a time. Okay, so
wow.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So there's a landing page here, and the landing page is okay. It's not great. Okay, again, nothing I have not told the vice president and the president of Inside Real Estate. Right, I've had this conversation with them. We are working on building a new new set of landing pages. I'm in talks with them right now. I don't know what that's going to look like, when that's going to come out. We were hoping Q4 this year. I don't know. There's so much other stuff going on right now. Like I said, there's that new, core listing machine that most people do not know. Well, nobody in EXP knows of yet because there's 8 of us that have access to it. Okay. So, but it's going to be really awesome. It's going to be really awesome. And so they're building out a lot of great things. I am so excited about what kvCORE is doing this year. I've been talking with Dan McKeon, which Dan is the vice president of the company. I've been talking with him a lot over the past, I don't know, few months or so. And because they were one of the corporate sponsors for the regional rallies that are going on. And so, I talk to him quite often about what's going on with kvCORE. And guys, keep in mind, I cannot say what's going to happen, but keep in mind, Inside Real Estate owns Boomtown and they own kvCORE. Okay. Now, what if, this is all I can say, I'm allowed to say this. What if some of the features started integrating? Give you a little bit to think about.
It would be amazing.
It would be amazing.
I've worked in Boomtown and I love Boomtown too.
It would be absolutely amazing. Now, are they going to become one product? The answer is no, they're not. But I have been told that certain things will bleed over. Okay. And I'm allowed to share that. So I am so excited about, if you guys knew what was coming with kvCORE, you would be sitting here like chewing your fingernails. This year is going to blow kvCORE up. Okay. From what I'm understanding. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And EXP is going to have proprietary products that no other company can get. Yeah, this is big stuff. This is big stuff, guys. So anyway, you can go over here, click on, lead generation. You can do videos, right? See, like, for instance, I don't like how this video is down here. If I'm going to have a video, I want it to be the whole thing for the video, right? I want to get people's attention, right? Right now, that's the way it is. So all this stuff is changing, but when, we don't know, because there's a lot more on the horizon right now with, Boomtown and all that stuff. Now, if we double click on, price reductions right here, right? We don't have price reductions anymore, or fixer uppers. You just double click it, it'll go away. You can modify it by changing it and putting whatever you want to here. You can put in your tags, change your submit text button, right? So where it says see the list now, I could say get them, right? If I wanted to, right? It would say get them, right? Okay. The URL, where do you want them to go after? The login, their YouTube ID. I can make this video down here anything I wanted to by simply putting in a YouTube ID. I can require a phone number. I can make the background look whatever I want to, right? Maybe I want to, show this old man out here, golfing, or I have to be careful saying old man because I'm an old man now. But, there's a lot of different things that I can do, right? That I can change up that look. It's okay. It's not great. Okay. And this is, people tell me, gosh, are you saying that about kvCORE? You know what? This is nothing I haven't said to the vice president of the company. And so I'm just, doesn't matter to me, right? IDX squeeze page is going to be your main source for your leads. Okay. If you really want to generate leads, guys, this is how you do it. Okay. You just go over here to lead engine. You're going to go over here to all lead tools, and then you're going to click on squeeze pages. Okay. Now the difference between a squeeze page and a landing page, I get this all the time. A landing page is when you land on a page and you got nowhere else to go. You must enter information to get information. A squeeze page is going to let you look slowly and squeeze you in. Okay. So if I think about it that way, I'm going to let them look at 4, 5, or 6 different homes or whatever it may be, and I'm going to squeeze them in slowly. Okay. And so that's what a squeeze page does. Now there's 2 different ones for sellers. There's the market report. Okay. Which is okay. It's not bad. I like the market report. I'm a fan of the market report, but I'm not a fan of the photo that they use for the market report. The photo that they use is very much a New England sort of bungalow looking home. Okay. In North Carolina, that doesn't work for me. My agents in Texas, it doesn't work for them, right? My agents in New Mexico, it doesn't work for them, right? Florida, it doesn't work for them, right? So you have to, wherever you're at, you want to look at this photo and see if it really works for you. Because if you're, and again, some people say, well, I don't care what the photo is. I respectfully disagree with that. And the reason I do is because if your photo is not a representation of your area on Facebook, most people that are local are not going to click it. Would you agree with that, Cari? Oh, Cari's asleep. Lost
No,
Cari.
I'm here. I couldn't unmute. Yes, I definitely agree with that. So can you edit that, or are you saying you can't at this time?
You cannot at this time. That's
Okay.
something, again, that I'm having deep conversations with corporate
Yep.
about. Okay. So I want to be able to go in and change that photo. That would be nice to be able to do. Okay. At this moment, you cannot. Okay. So you can look at it, play around with it, see what you think about it. Seller squeeze is a good one. Again, I'm not a big fan of the photo. It's okay. It's going to have a house with a question kind of blurred out with a question mark behind it. Now, it used to, and we got this fixed, thank goodness. It used to say the average home price in your area is whatever, right? And then it would say, find out what your home value is today. I'm glad they took that part off because, for instance, where I'm at right now, my average home price here is 200 to 225,000, right? That's the average home price where I'm at right now. But we have a really nice lake about 10 miles away. But now keep in mind, there might be 50 homes on this entire lake, right? If that, right? Maybe more, I don't know, but there's the significance of our county is not this lake. Okay. However, it says the average home price is $750,000. That's because $1 million homes on the lake. Okay. So keep that in mind. When you're using the seller squeeze, just use that, with caution, making sure that you're not putting out information that would be considered incorrect. Again, it's not going to get you in trouble, but what's going to happen is people locally are going to be like, I mean, literally this happened to me. I had one, I was put it out there. I didn't pay any attention to it. It said the average home price is $750,000. And somebody put, you must be effing smoking crack. Right? Literally, and they spelled the word out right on my post. Okay. So just be cognizant of that. Okay. Single property would be just for one property, right? So whichever one. So my 402 Park, if it's still there, it may not still be there. It's not there anymore. So 9 Albright, for example, right? Okay, there we go. And then I'd simply just click on it, right? It has to be clickable. And then I'd put in my source, which is where does that person come from, right? Is that a Facebook lead? Is that a Google lead? Is that a Instagram lead? What is that, right? Then you put your hashtags. So I just hashtag the address here. And then you figure out how many views you're going to let them view, right? And then just click generate link. And it'll give you the link. And then you just share that link on social media. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, multi-property is where most of your leads are going to come from. You're either going to advertise listings, right? Or you're going to do an IDX squeeze page multi-property. Now, the multi-property allows you to be able to go in. And so, for example, I can type in Marion here, for example, Marion, North Carolina. That's my city. So I click and it must auto-populate. So if it doesn't auto-populate, it's not going to work. So city Marion, okay, right here, I can do coming soon and single family. Okay. And I'm going to skip all this style, price range, square footage, all this different stuff. I don't need to narrow it down that much. I am going to click on options and I can say, where do I want them to go? Do I want them to go to a page with all just listed properties or all fixer uppers or all new builds or open houses, or where I can choose where I want them to land? So let's go back to the Craig Proctor thing we were talking about, right? So 20 years ago, Craig Proctor used to make you, and I'm sure you remember this, Cari, you had to purchase a vanity website and a unbranded website, right?
Yes.
And vanity website was for your sellers and your unbranded was for your buyers. Remember that, right? And then whenever you wanted them to go to a special page, you had to go into your website, create yourself as a lead, and then click on that link, okay? Whatever link came up, and it was a big, huge, long link, right? And you had to put that if you wanted them to go to a particular property or you wanted them to go to new builds or whatever on your site. That's the way you had to do it. kvCORE made it simple. If I want just listed, I simply just click just listed. Boom, it's going to take them to all just listed properties, right? Now I'm going to click on source here, and I'm going to call this SM for social media. You could do Facebook or whatever, but I keep it kind of generic, right? I want it to match though. So my hashtags, I want my hashtag to say Marion, okay, right? and I want hashtag Marion. So there's either one. Okay, see there, right? And then the other thing I want to do is just listed. Okay, and again, I want to make sure that they're matching. See, just listed Marion. You guys see that? Okay. Now, Facebook cover photo, I'm going to use the top one. This is not compliant in all areas. Check your area. Okay. Find out if this is compliant, because what you're doing is you're advertising a picture only, not the address, not the price, a picture only of another listing. This might be a listing from Remax. This might be a listing from Keller Williams. This might be a listing from somebody that hates your guts. Okay. You do not know what's going to come up. Okay. You don't know what picture is going to come up. In North Carolina, the law says this: I can advertise any listing as long as I'm not advertising the price or the address. Okay. So if I don't put either one of those on there, North Carolina does not care. I can advertise any photo through IDX. Okay. So, again, check with your state broker on this. It may not be legal in your area. If not, you're going to have to use one of these from your agency at the bottom here. Okay. Or a specific. Then you click on property views here. Again, I'm going to give them two property views, right? And I'm going to generate the link, right? So now I'm going to grab this direct link up here. Okay. And then, oh, looks like Cari got kicked out. I just brought her back. Okay. Cari, you back? Cari, you back?
I am.
Okay, good. We lost you there. All right. So then I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to go to my Facebook business page. Oh, give me a minute here. People are messaging me. So I'm going to go to my Facebook business page here. Okay. Switch now. And then all I have to do is just make a post, right? So I've copied that link, right? So I'm going to, okay, Facebook has been acting really weird. Is anybody else having problems with Facebook? Facebook has been really screwy today. Like, I mean, you go to click the post and it does this and it won't let you post. So it's not letting me post. I don't know what is up with Facebook. I've had issues where if I clicked on to try to see what people's notifications were, they weren't coming up. See, it just saying Facebook is not available today. I mean, all kinds of weird stuff is happening with Facebook today.
Hey, Shannon, can I interrupt for a second?
Sure.
So whenever you said you can click agency, does that mean like our company EXP or
Yes.
I mean, like,
Yes,
with
that's
EXP?
from your
Okay.
agency. That's only from EXP.
Okay, so that's like your safe way. If
That's
like
the
you don't-
safe way to do it. That's the safe way.
Gotcha.
To do it. Just
Perfect,
check with your state brokers. So it's not going to let me post on here, guys. But what I am going to do is show you. Well, maybe I'm going to show you if Facebook will work. Oh my goodness, this is now the third day in a row that Facebook has been doing this. I have had so many problems with Facebook. I don't know if anybody else is having it or not, but I've had so many problems with Facebook. So as you can see, it's not allowing me. Anyway, what you would do is down here, it would allow you to share. There'd be a share button here and you click share, and then you could share it into groups and yard sales and all that good different stuff, right? Or you can click boost property, and it's not letting me do that. Well, here's a boost. Let me see if it'll let me do this, for example, to show you what a boost looks like. Okay, so it's letting me do this one. So here, this is not what I'm looking for to boost, but I'm just showing you for an example. The ad creative, I leave that the way it is, right? You choose where you want people, messaging, right? And then, what in the world? It's not even letting me. What is this? Okay, it's supposed to give me all this stuff where I get to choose. My goodness, what's going on? It's supposed to give me all this stuff where I get to choose, where I want it to go out to, what kind of criteria I'm looking for and all this different stuff, then my duration. And this is supposed to give me a place to actually boost the post. It's not allowing that. It says request a call. This is really strange. So something really screwy is going on with Facebook. So anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I wish I could show you more. when it comes to that of advertising, but Facebook is really acting up today. So
We can always learn in your boot camp.
yep, you
Hopefully
can always learn in my
Facebook
boot camp. Yep, go to my
So
boot
I have
camp.
a quick question because I have a few people who are just getting started and they've asked me questions about smart campaigns. And are there more in a library somewhere? If the ones that they see are not a good fit, do they have to create their own? Is there some way easy to do that? Anything, any tips or tricks, or if anybody has a question, raise your hand on that because I know a few of you have asked me.
Yeah, so smart campaigns, there's a kvCORE library here. Again, I'm not a big fan of what they offer, but you're more than welcome to use it. Okay. And then once you create your own campaign, once you these are locked, so you'd have to create your own, right? To do that, to modify that, right? But once you create your own campaign, for example, right? Like this is one of my own campaigns, then I can go in here and I can edit anything that I want to, right? So I can go in here and say, okay, on that email, I want it to say something different. I'm going to click edit. Just change it to whatever I want it to do and hit save changes. Okay. So does that answer the question? Is that kind of, there's a lot to building out a campaign. We go into it a little bit in the kvCORE bootcamp, but most people do not want to do it because it's kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest with you, to build campaigns.
Do you find that, are you using the already built campaigns for your sphere, or are you not using that as much for your sphere, more for the leads? Because a lot of people have said that they didn't know if that,
Yeah. So for me, I'm not a big fan, and we didn't get into any of this because we didn't have the time today. But I'm not a big fan of campaigns for people unless they're a new lead. That's why we provide a new lead buyer and a new lead seller campaign for you. Okay. Because the best thing that you can do to follow up with any buyer or any seller is provide quality information to them. Okay. And the fluff that comes in campaigns, people are going to see through and they're going to unsubscribe. I'm just telling you the facts. Okay. I know Gary says the 33 touch and all this different stuff, and I get that. I've been there, done that, drank the red Kool-Aid. Okay. But I got to tell you that unless the campaign is providing good quality information that pertains to them, it's not beneficial to you. It's actually going to hurt you in the long run. Okay. So for example, if I know someone's looking at properties, I could go down here and I could say, oh, another thing too, if they look at properties on your website, right? So he's looking at homes up to 939,000, right? So it registers, okay, McKay is looking in Asheville, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, around $1 million, right? And so it's going to automatically set him up on property alerts based upon what he looks at most. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to have property alerts coming at a regular basis, and you want market reports every 7 to 14 days. Market report is the highest price home sold, the lowest price home sold, the median price home sold, blah, 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 right? That's the best way to follow up with a buyer right there is market reports and property alerts. That's providing quality information for them. Okay. Now, sellers, you would want to, get them set up on a core present, which connects to your MLS. It's basically, like a quick CMA sort of thing. It's pretty neat. Or, listing valuations, seller reports, all this different stuff, right? But that's the way I do it. I do not use campaigns. And some people say, oh, you know what? Well, you're missing the boat, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. You know what? I'd rather provide quality information to them than to provide crap, for lack of better words. Okay. And some people disagree with me there. That's okay if you don't believe that. You don't have to.
I agree with you. I think we see so many of our past clients and referral partners and sphere of influence in so many different ways, especially with social media. If you're doing a good job of making sure that you're friends and you're connected with people, you're doing videos, you're bringing information, people remember you're a realtor. See, remember back in the day, we had to do all of these touches on email because we didn't have the other things. Now we have all the other things. So if you're trying to do all your touches on email and that, it gets to be overkill, and most of your people don't want to receive those from you anyway. We did have somebody come on and share how you could create a newsletter in Canva and just upload that to your kvCORE. And send a monthly newsletter or a quarterly newsletter to your past clients and Sphere. That could be an option for you guys. You know, a lot of people are doing send out gifts, or some of these other companies, or they're doing Popeyes, their past, you know, clients, and doing that on a quarterly basis, inviting to a few events a year. And quite frankly, if you've got a homeowner, set them up on a search around their home so they can see what's going on, or set them up on these.
Absolutely. We're only getting every other word you're saying here. Cari, I think we lost you.
Sorry about that. No worries. You continue on. I was just trying to share that there's a lot of ways that you can be in touch with people, maybe not through a campaign any longer.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Campaigns are just really not, I mean, for new leads, they're essential. They're essential because they don't know you. Right. But for someone else, you know what? I just set up, call them. Here's my philosophy. I live by the ABC philosophy. Okay. This is the way I've always done my business. This is the way I'll always do my business. I've got A clients. My A clients I talk to every single month. I've got B clients I talk to them every 60 days. I've got C clients I talk to every 90 days. That simple, right? And I just set up, I'll set up, okay, you know what? It's been a month. I'll set myself a reminder in there, right? So you can go right into the call here, and I'm gonna have to hurry because I've got to get on a call like ASAP. So you can go right here to call, schedule call. I'm gonna put in the call, the note. I'm gonna put a month from now, sync with my Google Calendar, and then repeat that call every month. That's an A client. I know that, right? He's an A client. So I'm going to reach out to him every single month. My B clients, I'm going to reach out to every 2 months. My C clients, I'm going to reach out to every 90 days. Okay. It's that simple, right? And I do the same thing with agents, right? If I'm talking to agents, right? I do the exact same thing. So guys, again, thank you so much. Someone asked about recorded stuff. So yes, the 97 and the 197 package are recorded. If you're wanting the one-on-one, that is the bigger package, the 347, the Rockstar package. So you can certainly do that. And there is an option in there for $27 per month. We do a weekly call where people can join in, and it's all a big group Q&A and includes some other things. So it's kind of an upgrade. If you want to do that, you're certainly welcome to do that. But that's kind of an exclusive type thing that we do once a week. Okay. Is that helpful?
Very helpful. Thank you so much. You guys go to the kvcorebootcamp.com if you want more info, and hopefully this got you a little bit over the hump of, you know, your nerves of getting in here and using it. This is a great CRM. If you guys use this, you will definitely increase your business. There's no doubt. Correct.
Exactly. Cari, I've got to get on a call with an agent, but thank you so much.
Thank
I appreciate
you guys.
your time.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone.